Yes.
So Rin is a mermaid who has never been on land. She comes on land because her sister gets taken. So she comes on land to find her. But because she's never been on land before, she is in a constant anxious state at this point. She's used to being the top level predator in the ocean, but at the same time, this is a brand new world for her. So there's a mix of confidence, naivety, and sort of anxiety all at the same time. I'd say she's curious, determined, and very cool.
Great.
Maddie is a marine biologist, and she's she works at the Marine Mammal Centre, and she's studying marine biology. And her stepdad is the sheriff in town, and so she's trying to find her independence, I guess. You don't take away my independence, but the arrival of I don't know why that was a segue, but the arrival of Rin throws her life kind of into all different directions, and so you get to really see kind of how she deals with that, and how she deals with the arrival of this force of nature.
Ooh, that was a great term. Anybody?
Did you have to do any research because I know you work with live animals. Did you have to do any research for that, any training?
I went to Vancouver Aquarium quite a few times and watched Blue Planet, I think at least 8 times. Because it's just fascinating. It's like you're watching an alien planet, and I think sometimes you take it for granted, perhaps a little bit, because you think unless it's like a big thing, how interesting is it, you know? But it's fascinating. They live in a completely different world on our planet, the way they are. And then, you can go look to see mammals, and that's even more interesting because they've evolved a lot of them from land, which is really crazy. I did a little bit of looking and watching.
Breath hold training.
Yes.
So you're up to 3 minutes and 12 seconds?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow.
I can't hold my breath for 30 seconds.
Yeah, same here.
Honestly,
I did scuba diving training though, which was super fun to get to do, and lots of research about marine biology. I didn't know that giant squids had beaks. And that blew my mind. Maybe I'm just really stupid, but I didn't know that, and I googled it. I was like, "What? That's crazy!" So it is like another alien world.
I have to say, if you did the training, I bet you'd be awesome. It's all about knowing exactly what the breathe up is like, and you're good to go.
Thank you.
I believe in you. Yes.
We didn't hear much from your character, so she doesn't speak.
Not at
a
this
lot.
point, because she's brand new.
Yeah. But does she? Do we? Or do you have to basically act everything out in a way?
Is your question how physical she is?
Yeah, because in this episode at least.
In this episode, she's pure being. Yeah. There's very little language that comes out of her, but surprisingly fast what she picks up actually. Okay. If you really think of her as an animal, to come on land and understand what that means, I am Rin, and to use it in the appropriate moment. That definitely develops, and at quite a remarkable speed at times.
Shows her intelligence.
Yeah, but her main, I guess, transporter of emotions is her physicality, and that was a lot. Yeah, watching animals. It was hard to sort of pick an animal and say that's what a mermaid's like. So I took little bits from different things I liked and thought, I'll put that in.
What were some of them?
For instance, with just fish, especially when they're anxious, is the way they have this, they're constantly looking at you, and they move actually quite fast. They're doing that swift thing. But then when you look at sharks and things, they are smooth, and they have more like a lingering. They turn and they let it linger and stuff. I wanted to be quite intense about her eyes, because I tried to reverse it, when we did our very first scuba dive in the actual ocean, your breathing quickens, and you look around just in case you'd see anything at all, and your senses are just pumping. So I guess I tried to do the same on land for her, even though she's confident about who she can take on. the senses go mad. It's so loud for her. It smells so different. The air's so dry here. The vision is it's so clear and crisp. And on top of that, she's gotten a new body. Like her whole body has changed, in a very brief period of time. So there's a lot she's getting used to. In that sense.
Were you guys familiar with any of like the mythology behind it going into it?
Yeah, it's been really interesting, like researching all the different myths and how kind of fluid that mythology is, how it's evolved from like the Odyssey, but that every culture seems to have some kind of myth relating to the sea and particularly the water and mermaids, which has been really interesting. And we're kind of learning more as we go, like I'm constantly researching more,
Yeah, it's been really fun research. You don't realize but how many cultures and societies have somehow used half man or half woman and then something from fish world. It comes a lot from the water was seen as the sign of fertility because it brings fertile land and stuff like this. So goddesses of water or gods of water were, these guys, and then. But for some cultures they were dangerous. In other cultures they were like revered. They would teach you things. They would bring you life. And so it's wonderful how it's all been played about and played around. And in the Middle Ages it was like the ultimate tease, showing how bad women were because they were naked but they didn't have private parts. So it was like women are just like really each time period and place in the world had their little myth around it. So I'm glad we contribute in 2017.
Well, speaking of women, we did get to meet Maddie's stepdad, but will we get to meet her mom at any point?
You know what? That's something that I can legit say. I don't know when we'll meet the mum, but Maddie's mum is she's an addict, and so she's gone off to kind of work out some stuff. So Maddie's dynamic with her stepdad is they're very close. Like she doesn't call him stepdad. She calls him dad. That's all she's known. So I think what's interesting with Maddie is she's very strong on the surface, I think, but underneath there is a real insecurity and vulnerability from what that means to grow up with that kind of dynamic in the family. And then she's kind of brought it to the caring. She works in a marine mammal center. She's very, very caring.
How does her view of marine life, what she's studied, change now that she's presented with this mythical creature?
Yeah, well that's really fun because she's very quite scientific and pragmatic and likes to kind of be in control of things. And then, she has to adapt to the fact that what's in front of her. It takes a bit of convincing, but she's kind of wrapping her head around it as she goes. As we all would, it's kind of like mind warping. But yeah, she gets there. Or I don't think she ever really gets there. She's constantly kind of catching up. Yeah.
Wait, when does your sister get introduced into it? I mean, without spoiling anything, because
she'll get introduced. Well, the concept of who was taken from me gets introduced quick, so you get why she's on that. Very quick.
Looking forward to her coming. She's
Yeah.
from my country.
Yes, from the
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Yes.
she's great. We love her.
Sibo, yeah.
Yeah, Sibo, yeah.
Because I think, they said in the panel, so I don't think it's a spoiler, but they're adding that just to the pilot. So from episode 1, I think you'll get to see
great.
Sibo's
Okay.
life, which is she's fabulous.
She's beautiful.
I've seen on social media you guys are all bonding already, so that's
and
great.
she's fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll like that.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
So if you get, you're done?
Oh, it's
You're
okay.
done.
You
No,
have one when you get
I would. No, please, no. Not this question. You don't want this question.
Oh, what is it?
No, never mind.
Wait.
Save it till next season.
Oh,
Turn it off and ask us.
Oh wow.
It's nothing.
Okay.
I thought we had some extra time, so I was just going to supplement it with where you wanted the series to go if all goes well. But that's who cares?
World domination. No.
Yeah, there you go.
the
Perfect answer.
mermaids. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank
guys.
you, lovely
Thank
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
By the way, it looks really beautiful. We were